One of the tough things about life as you get older, even though you may deal with it some when you're younger, but definitely as you get older, because it's just the odds, is dealing with loss, dealing with death of parents, grandparents, sometimes even children, pets, etc. Dealing with the death of a loved one. It's a traumatic, emotional thing that all of us experience. And as you get older, you have to figure out how to cope with that, how to deal with that emotionally healthy. Because you can deal with it in many ways, obviously, in an unhealthy way. You can try to drink your pain away or forget your pain or not deal with it, right? So, one is a simple way to explain, at least from my perspective, the best way, because there's no easy way. The best way is just to remember life is like driving a car. And the windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror. And the reason it is because you have to focus on going forward more than you look back. And when you look at old pictures or when you keep the ashes of someone and there's too much memorabilia of the past, what can happen is emotionally you trigger trauma. And all those memories pull you back. And everything within balance, right? Because you still do have a rear view mirror. It's good to have some memories. It's good to look at the past a little bit. It's almost healthy, but not too much. The rear view is there to look, to, check it out. But the windshield of your life is bigger. You have to focus on going forward. If your loved ones, whether your parents, your children, your grandparents, your pets, if they loved you, they wouldn't want you to crash the car of your life. They wouldn't want you to crash emotionally. They'd want you to drive safely going forward. And remember to take life one day at a time. Remember that in all circumstances, one day at a time. Because it's so much easier to deal with things when you break them down into small steps. And life is one day at a time, with planning for the future, with learning from the past, but got to focus on the windshield, the bigger picture of going forward. And I think about this, I reflect on this today, because things, again, can trigger you emotionally. Holidays, birthdays, anniversaries. Or again, just if you wake up and you see the pictures of someone who passed away, you've seen the ashes, they got the urn. I know a guy that he lost his wife and he couldn't throw out anything in the house. And the house was almost like a museum to her, which is great. There's honor there and there's not disrespect, but it's almost like you disrespect your own emotions because it's like every day you wake up at the funeral home. And at a certain point, it's not honor, it's self-mutilation. And, self-mutilation is a very psychologically ill way to cope with emotional trauma. Physical mutilation, when you physically hurt yourself, it's basically like you induce pain to yourself to release endorphins so you kind of find a balance. Meaning that your emotions are raging, so you induce pain to release a chemical in your body to balance yourself. So what I'm saying, instead of doing that in a very unhealthy way, and that's just one example, right? There's, again, you can do drugs, you can do alcohol, you do all these things to cope. You could eat too much food, cope. Sugar spikes, cope. The way I'm saying is, 1 is focus on going forward. 2 is one day at a time. 3 is move your body, if you can, as much as you can. 4 is don't keep all this memorabilia, these pictures, these things that it's not healthy. Okay. And if they loved you, why would they want you to be unhealthy? Okay. I'm not saying I see some people too, they just totally forget about it and they just move on right away. I'm not saying that's the way you go forward either, because there should be some type of grieving process, which may take months or years. But even as you grieve, focus on one day at a time and go for a walk, cry, just go forward. Don't add to your life. Focus on, healing. And you never fully heal. Like I remember, some people do try to say like time heals. It does heal to an extent, just like, you ever get cut in life or have a wound or an injury, time does heal it. Time heals a lot. The body repairs a lot. But some things that are so damaging, you kind of carry scars with you in life. And when you deal with loss, whether of a lover, certainly of a child, a pet, anything, you carry a scar with you, an emotional scar. But when you have a scar, if you have any scar tissue on your body, and you probably will as you get older, because it's just part of life, you get nicked up in certain ways. What you realize is that scar tissue, even though it heals, it's thinner than your other skin. And when you look at pictures and when you replay the past and you focus too much on the past memories, you're basically cutting the softer tissue that can't deal with as much, and you're opening that wound again. And scar tissue, while at time does heal, it never repairs, and it's never as thick as the rest of the other skin in your body. So just remember that, guys, every day, especially on the holidays, especially on anniversaries. Go forward. Remember the car example. Remember, look at your life like a car. The rear view mirror is there, but the windshield is bigger. Focus on going forward one day at a time. And in my opinion, everyone should do what they want. I wouldn't keep ashes of someone. I wouldn't keep too many pictures around. Because to me, every day you're just emotional trauma to that scar of your life. You've healed a little bit, but the scar is still there. Honor them by going forward. Remember them, but remember to move forward. The windshield is bigger. I mean, that's all we can do. There's no easy answer. Hopefully we go forward. We see them again in another dimension. None of us know the answers to that, so don't focus on that too much. But just try to keep yourself in a healthy place. I mean, that's all we can do. What can we do? There's only so much control we have over life, but emotionally, you do have a responsibility to keep yourself in a healthy place because you have control over that. So these are some ways I've found that could help. It's not easy. I mean, believe me, guys. I mean, we all go through these events in our lives. It's not easy. And you have more empathy as you get older because this is all part of the human experience, and some experience it more than others. But you got to go forward. Okay. Hopefully this helped a little bit.